How you doing? How you doing, everybody? I'm Ken Bykoff, and welcome to the Peegs Postgame Live. Indiana are the Big Ten champs outright, beating Ohio State 13-10 in the Big Ten championship game. Here's some sentences I legitimately never thought I would ever say in my entire life. Indiana will be the number one team in the country come next week. They will be the number one seed in the college football playoffs. And your Hoosiers have won the Big Ten championship. 812-393-2600 is the number. I'm expecting people to trickle in here as time goes on because people are going to watch the trophy presentation. Just how my screen works. I'm going to have it on here myself. I'm an IU alum, just like a lot of you. And I am stunned by what I saw, not because the defense was as good as it was, not because this was an impossible game, but there was just a number of opportunities that Indiana let slip through its fingers that in the past has been a problem. And that was not a problem today. Indiana's defense made all the plays it needed. It scored one touchdown, and that's all it needed. And the Hoosiers are Big Ten champs. 812-393-2600 is the number. They moved to 13-0 on the season. They will be the number one seed in the college football playoff, which I've already mentioned. But sweet God, folks. My first year doing a call-in show was Kevin Wilson's first year. Indiana went 1-11 that year. And we're a long way from that. 13-0 on the season. Beat the Ohio State Buckeyes. Murdered that demon once and for all. Checked off the last box of Curt Cignetti, saying Purdue sucks, but so does Michigan and Ohio State. He got that. And now, as I'm watching on my screen, as those of you who are joining me, I really appreciate it because I know that what you're doing over on there, you're watching it as well. Indiana, Big Ten champion. Sig looks a little perturbed that he doesn't get to go back and get things started to prep next. And Indiana is wearing Big Ten champion hats. This is easily the biggest turnaround in college sports history. It's not even a question, really, considering what exactly the history of Indiana football is. And there goes the red and white confetti in the confetti cannons. Tell you right now, Charlie, the intern, is thrilled that was the case. Oh, I forgot to go ahead and play this, because I normally do, so I'm going to go ahead and throw this in because we don't have them. We can Google them. It's going to get a hell of a lot better.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I win. Google me.
It's pretty simple. I win. Google me. I just, sweet God. 812-393-2600 is the number. Cignetti is talking on the Fox broadcast. I would love to put it on for you. I hope most of you are doing that. I think people will flood in here in just a little bit because they're watching all the post-game stuff. And so I'm sure that we'll get a pile of callers here in just a little bit. But 13-10 is your final score. Again, Indiana will be number one in the country next week. Number one in the college football playoffs. Not a real strong argument that Fernando Mendoza should not win the Heisman Trophy now in a head-to-head matchup. He beat the other favorite. Saying had some numbers, but it's minimal numbers, and we're talking about 36 more yards. Mendoza, 15 of 23, 222 yards, a touchdown and a pick in this one. Charlie Becker stepped up again. 6 catches, 126 yards, and that takes it so that, Omar Cooper got hurt on the first drive. And it is just incredible. Looks like Fernando Mendoza just got MVP of the game, which is incredible. The Grange Griffin MVP, Fernando Mendoza. Just an extraordinary night here for IU football. 812-393-2600. There's just speechless, just incredible. Indiana, Mendoza was laying on the field after the first play. He just got popped. Clean hit. Got popped. Was down. Alberto had to come in, have a snap, handed the ball off, and then Fernando came back and was undaunted the rest of the way. Again, 15 of 23, 222. The Hoosiers outgain Ohio State 340 to 322. They rushed for 118 yards, including Kalon Black, 16 carries for 69 yards. Roman Hemby, 13 carries for 52 yards. IU was penalized 5 times for 49 yards. I've already seen some Ohio State fans bitching about the lack of calls against the Hoosiers in this one. Ohio State got away with plenty. A lot of holds. We saw an uncalled face mask on a play that was also flagged for, saying was flagged for intentional grounding. A lot of tears in the crowd, I could see. Fernando Mendoza has tears in his eyes as we're here. Indiana with 17 first downs on the day, held Ohio State to 4 of 11 on third down. And that was a huge, huge difference in this one. Throw in the fact that IU was just so active in terms of their pass rush. One of the questions was if Indiana was going to be able to get the upper hand on Ohio State's offensive line. They did just that by sacking Justin Sayin 5 times. He'd been sacked 6 times all season. 5 times today by Indiana alone. You had Isaiah Jones, Bones Jones, 2 sacks on the day. Elijah Hardy had a sack. Stephen Daly had a sack. Mario Landino had a sack, his only tackle of the game. Indiana overcame interception. They overcame a missed field goal. And they made the stops that they needed late to win the ball game. Which team stood up to the pressure tonight? It was Indiana. 812-393-2600 is the number. Give me a call. Looking forward to hearing from you. Second call-in show of the day for me. I did one earlier after the basketball game. That one was not as fun. This one has been fantastic. Lines are open. I see that the number of viewers that we have is increasing now as the post-game celebration starts to cut off. So please, pick up that phone. Give me a call. I want to hear from you. 13-10 is your final for the Hoosiers. Your soon-to-be number 1 ranked Indiana Hoosiers. That also gives Curt Cignetti now 24 wins in his first 2 seasons. I believe the record for most wins in the first 2 seasons at a school for a coach, I think, is Kalen DeBoer. I think. Let's see, is it DeBoer? I looked this up a while ago. No, it's not Kalen DeBoer. No, it's Kalen DeBoer, but his first 2 years at Washington, he won 25 games. Sig can tie that record with his next win. And it's just incredible. So we have people lining up to join here. Indiana 6 of 13 on third down. The fact that they were able to convert a little less than half of their, or a little less than half, or no, what is that? 6 of 13? Yeah, that's less than half. Journalism major, not a math major. On third down, converted a great fourth down. And again, I have the TV feed here, slow motion here of Curt Cignetti holding up the Big Ten championship ball with confetti going behind him. You can go ahead and put that on a goddamn stamp. That's just amazing. They're saying last time Indiana won the Big Ten title was the 1967 season when Sig was 6 years old. I'll tell you right now, they tied for the Big Ten championship, finished 6-1, and if there were tiebreakers, you could have made the argument that Minnesota actually was the one that may have won that. Sig is about to talk to some more people here, but we want to hear from you. I want to hear from you as this is as big a show as we've had, and everybody will stay on for as long as you want to. I'm giving people plenty of time to join us because this has been an incredible day. Incredible day. So many IU fans have lived through so many bad seasons, and to see this at this point is just incredible. We have our first caller. Caller, if you have your name, where you're from, and what you got.
Ken, Larry from Fort Wayne. How you doing, buddy?
I'm dying for a poem.
Yeah, I got you one, buddy. A
Hit
cake,
me.
A cheer. Here, let me start over. A cake, a cheer, and what a treat. IU beat Ohio State, can't be beat. Big Ten champs. They took the crown. Buckeyes left with their heads bound down. So here's to you, Ken. Enjoy your day with a win that'll make you shout hooray. Birthday fun and football bliss. IU's victory is the perfect gift.
No argument here, man. No argument here. And this is
Hey, man.
hey, yeah, this is I don't show that much. It's got a tattoo of IU because I'm an alum, graduate of journalism school. Proud to be a Hoosier. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you were watching the post game. You heard me talk about it. Your Hoosiers are going to be ranked number 1 in the country and the number 1 seed in the college football playoffs. And the quarterback probably won the goddamn Heisman Trophy. How about that?
It's unreal. Like, growing up here, I'm probably about your age. I don't know how old you are.
52. 52 today.
Well, I'm right there knocking on the door with you. So you and I grew up watching IU football be a next, right? Like, okay, we got IU football this weekend. Who do we play next? Like, on schedule. What Coach Cignetti has done is unbelievable. It has not been done before, and I will say it's going to be hard to duplicate. It is unreal. Watching IU basketball today, the low that we've had versus tonight, boy, what a day it's been of emotions. And I just wanted to, again, call in and thank you for what you do. We really, really appreciate watching your show. There's a lot of people who watch and listen, and go IU, man. I just, here's my fear. My fear is Notre Dame. If we're number 1, that's my fear.
Well,
talk me off the ledge, Ken.
Oh, I'll talk you off the ledge because you can go ahead, and if they play Notre Dame, I think Indiana would want to play Notre Dame or have that opportunity after they lost to them at their place last year. Yeah, they would be happy to go ahead. This is a hungry team. This is a team that operates like that. That you're going to go ahead and you're going to beat us last year, Ohio State. Okay, we avenged this one. And I know Sig says it's not about revenge and all that. Yeah, whatever. You think he doesn't keep names on the wall and lipstick of the people who have wronged him? And Ohio State was one of them last year. There was Notre Dame. You betcha he'd like to check that box off. Absolutely. That man is a dead psychopath, and in the very, very best way. And I would love to see that kind of matchup. This is just an incredible Game Indiana. There any kind of questions about Indiana football? Any kind of questions are gone because they slayed their dragon. Made so much history tonight.
Yeah, let me ask you this: were you similar to me and like tonight? Let's just make it respectable. Let's just keep in the game. Like I didn't know. I mean, Oregon was a great win, but the rest of the schedule really wasn't as challenging, and I was a little uneasy. What were you What were your thoughts?
Oh, hey, I was very clear that until you beat Ohio State, I don't believe that you could beat them because Ohio State has, on paper, better talent, better speed, better athleticism, better everything that goes along with it. Has the history, has the experience, everything went their way. And I got to tell you, Indiana answered every single question there.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. What a night! What a long day it's been. But go IU and your next show after the game this next week on Tuesday.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, buddy. We'll talk at you soon, man. Happy birthday.
All right, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Later, buddy. Bye.
812-393-2600 is the number. Looks like Sig is getting off the television now. So, again, might see a nice influx of people. Feel free to join us on the chat. 13-10 is the final. Again, that's the amazing thing about all this is that any kind of questions about Indiana football that, anytime they play anybody good, they've, they lost to Ohio State last year, lost to Notre Dame last year, a down Penn State team at their place. Indiana just couldn't, they had to squeak on by, got lucky. All of that, forget about all that. You beat Ohio State, a team that had won 16 consecutive games and was defending national champions, and you beat them at the Big Ten championship. Beat them at their own game. And it's absolutely incredible. 812-393-2600. Lines are open. The other great thing about this is the simple fact that you don't have to listen to anybody talk about is Curt Cignetti going to stick around? Could another school come and poach him? That question's already been taken care of. With the extension, none of that is a problem. None of that is a problem. And so what you have is Indiana. Everybody laughed when Curt Cignetti said that, they would be at a Big Ten championship game next year, and that when he was hired. And that was in 2023. Then when he was asked about it this year, he said, yeah, we're here a year late. And then he goes and wins. Takes care of business. And it's absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Turning point in this game, I mean, there were a lot of them that were available that could have kept Indiana from winning the ball game, but didn't. You're talking about, a field goal that was missed by Ohio State. That was big for the Hoosiers. You're talking about a 4th and 1 on a sneak that IU stopped, or at least got Ohio State down. That made a big difference. So just a huge game for the Hoosiers. We got another caller. Caller, have your name, where you're from, and what you got.
Hey, Ken, it's Russell from Reno. How's it going?
I'm doing good. Russell, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing amazing. I can't believe that the Hoosiers are Big Ten champs.
Are you talking about the team that's going to be the number one team in the country, Hoosiers?
Right. Maybe basketball, maybe soccer. I never thought this day would happen with football.
I joke all the time that I'm dead inside from watching all this over all the years, but I wasn't dead inside for this one. I wanted this one for the Hoosiers, and last time I think I felt this way for a full game was the Kentucky game with the watch shot. Previous to that, maybe the bucket game in 2007. It's rare that, end of the game, my heart rate, my Apple Watch told me that I was at 120, and that ain't healthy, but here we are.
My freshman year, I remember losing to Southern Illinois. My junior year, I remember losing to Ball State. To be beating Ohio State right now is just incredible.
and finally getting past that hurdle too.
And the coolest thing is the future looks so bright. You look at guys like Becker, Hardy, Johnny. It's just getting started. So many young contributors on this team. Go Hoosiers.
And absolutely, and it's there's just a ton of talent. And if you think that transfer portal guys won't want to come and play for Curt Cignetti, they're going to be clamoring for it. I mean, it's a whole new world to where we were a couple of years ago, and it is absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible.
One last quick question. What do you think the split was in fans in Indy tonight? You think it was 50-50 Hoosiers, or do you think, it's kind of hard to tell on the TV?
Yeah, no, I'm guessing it was 50-50. I mean, it's going to be a loud environment, but it's probably 50-50 because, Ohio State travels. I mean, they're a fantastic fan base. I know they can be annoying to a lot of people, but it's a fantastic fan base. It being here in Indiana, and plenty of Hoosier fans there. And plus people already there for the basketball game. Just a great a crowd, great atmosphere, no matter what.
It was electric. It was electric.
Yeah.
For both sides making plays, it was pretty incredible. But,
yeah.
Have a great night, Ken. Thank you for all you do.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. 812-393-2600 is the number. Love the calls. What a big night. What a big night. Getting reports on Twitter that Bloomington Police Department's out in force. But plenty of horn honking and merriment, as you expect. I assume that is absolutely bananas there. I absolutely did do my part to help Indiana football today myself, because I spent some time on a gambling site. And bet $60 against the Hoosiers, kind of on purpose. I'm not a good gambler. There's a history there. Ohio State was -5.5. I put $60 on there. I don't gamble much, but did that, and am thrilled to lose that money. Have no problem with that at all. It's a really great thing to do, and it was purely for jinx purposes, and it worked. Ohio State had its opportunities to win this ball game. Mistakes were made on their part that countered the mistakes that Indiana made. The missed field goal is brutal and the kind of thing you don't expect from Ohio State. But ultimately, it was Indiana's pressure that made the difference in this one. Pressure on Justin Sayin, who really hasn't faced much of that at all this year, and obviously seemed rattled by it, to be honest with you. He seemed rattled by that pressure. And then in the run game, the Hoosiers hold Ohio State to 58 yards rushing, 26 carries for 58 yards. That's a 2.2 average. Bo Jackson, who's a fantastic running back, 17 carries for 83 yards. The sacks of Sayin is what took a big chunk out of that, but still, Indiana's defensive line took care of business and was just fantastic. Lines are open. Give me a call. I want to hear from you about your soon-to-be number one Indiana Hoosiers and your Big Ten champion Hoosiers. 812-393-2600. It's the number. It's another guy on Twitter says, it was an undergrad at Indiana, a kicker started at safety. IU had to paint the dirt field green to look like grass. They needed a last-second touchdown to beat William and Mary. Barely beat a McNeese team that had to borrow Bloomington High School jerseys. That's false. They beat Nicholls State in borrowed jerseys because Nicholls State had Hurricane Katrina that they were dealing with. And it has been amazing. The difference in what we've seen. Got another caller? Caller, if you have your name, where you're from, and what you got.
Kenny, hey, Rob from Greenwood. What's up, my man?
How are you doing? You want a Rabby story, you better go follow him right now because you're going to probably see some stuff after he gets his work done.
Dude, Hey, actually, I would love a good Rabby. So I saw him eat a sausage one time, dude, Rabby's the best. He's the GOAT, right? Kenny, what just happened tonight? Tell me. I want to hear what you saw tonight. What just happened?
I saw Indiana become the Big Ten champs and become the #1 ranked team in the country. That's what I saw.
Oh my gosh. Unbelievable, isn't it?
I saw Fernando Mendoza win a Heisman Trophy.
Dude, hey, if we were in the same room right now, I would hug you, and I would cry with you. How unbelievable, man, dude. Hey, dude, Ken, thank you for everything. Let's go Hoosiers, and we have a legit football team in Bloomington, don't we?
Well, and that's exactly it. This win quiets everybody, answers every last critic that says, oh, I don't know, yeah, but with Indiana, that's over, baby. That's over.
Yep.
And now Indiana will go into this with every, some people are going to pick them to win a national championship. They just will. And they've checked all the boxes that they want, but having the experience of going to the CFP last year and losing means this team, even after winning the Big Ten championship, even getting to be ranked #1, they're still going to be incredibly hungry.
Hey, did you see that video of Sig that just came out like a day or two ago, like him talking at a coaches conference?
Yeah, I think I did.
You watch it?
Tell people what it said. I seem to remember something about that, but go ahead.
If you're an IU football fan, or you're trying to figure out if Signetti is wired a certain way, watch it, and I will happily tag you in a retweet, dude. I'm telling you, Ken, dude, you have to watch it, man. Sig is different, and we've seen different, depending on what age bracket you're in, we've seen different, right? From a basketball standpoint,
right?
You see different. It's different, and as Hoosier fans, we know Sig is different, and it's unbelievable that you got to watch on the TV. You're at home, right? You're remote. You're not there.
No, I'm in my home studio. Yeah.
You got to watch him raise that trophy, dude.
Oh,
unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I saw the TV feed. Yeah.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, isn't it? It's unbelievable.
Yeah. It really is. I mean, and that's what I was, when I came on, I said, I needed a second just to gather myself, because my heartbeat was at 120 beats a minute at the end of that thing. It was, and again and again, Charlie Becker was fantastic. Fernando Mendoza was throwing dimes. I about passed out when we saw Mendoza laying there. But yeah, Sig holding up that trophy, something he called a couple of days after he was hired. Everything he promised has come to pass. Every single thing.
Yeah. And that's nuts. I will say, hey, a great point. I will say Caden Curry, Ohio State, DN, Center Grove alum. I'm a Center Grove alum. Caden Curry came to play today. And I was sitting there watching him do his work, and I was like, man, what would he have done if Sig was there when he was there, right?
Yeah.
That's where we're at now. Sig has, what you said, everything he has proclaimed has happened. And it's a great day to be a Hoosier fan, Ken.
And there's certainty that Sig is going to be here, too. That's the other thing. He's going to be here because he has that extension in hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Ken, you're going to wake up, you're going to go to bed tonight, you're going to wake up tomorrow morning, you're going to be smiling, just like.
Oh, and then waiting for the Bears to eat some cheese against the Packers tomorrow too.
Hey, you know what? But the Bears don't matter right now because the Hoosiers are the Big Ten champions, baby.
Yes, sir.
All right, Kenny. Hey, love what you do. Keep it up. thank you for taking my call. I ramble all the time, but you're the man, dude. And I'm not going to ask you about a rabbit story.
All right.
Let's go,
I
Hoosiers.
appreciate it. Like, take care. 812-393-2600. Lines are open. Throw questions in the chat. We'll stay on as long as you people want to talk. I really love having you guys on. This is a team that 13-0, 13-10, 13-10 in the Big Ten championship game. Did not allow Ohio State to score a point in the final 50 minutes of the game. I believe that was the number I saw. I don't know if that's true, now that I think about it, because they scored 3 points in the second quarter. So, regardless, let's see. Ohio State kicked a field goal with 10:08 left. So what is that? Last 40 minutes of the game. Not bad against a team that had won 16 straight. It was number one team in the country until now, and now they're not going to be number one. Purdue won't be number one either after they got their ass handed to them earlier today for basketball. Not that Indiana won, but still. 812-393-2600 is the number. Please give us a call as we have crossed midnight. See the numbers coming on. Kyle Johnson says, happy birthday, Ken. What a way to celebrate. Huge, huge day. Kyle's a good guy, by the way. King of Muncie right there. And he is one of a number of long-suffering IU people who never thought that this day would come, let alone be at this point. You know, that's the other thing, is there are plenty of years in which you can imagine Indiana being, you could fathom Indiana being good, but get to the Big Ten football championship game and play the number one team in the country, while also undefeated, and win the ball game, make the plays when they needed to, get the stops, do it with defense. How many people remember the Antoine Randall years when Indiana's offense was absolutely electric, but they couldn't get to a bowl because there was no defense to be found? Or Kevin Wilson's years when you win a game 52-49 or you lose a game 49-48 because there's no defense to be found. And this is defense, and a quarterback that's going to win the Heisman Trophy. Got another caller. Caller, have your name, where you're from, and what you got.
Eric from Indianapolis.
How you doing?
Hey, Ken, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
Woo, boy, I tell you, man. Look, I never thought in my lifetime. I'm 60 years old, Ken, and I never thought. I've been waiting on the moment to celebrate IU football, and I know they still got work to do to win a national championship.
Yep.
But to say that we won the Big Ten outright in my lifetime and are undefeated, this is absolutely, man, I'm telling you, I cannot believe it. And I'm so proud of these guys. They stay focused, and they play great defense. Both teams were outstanding.
Oh,
and
sure.
If you can't tell me, and if you don't say that those are the best two teams in the country, then, if people think that, and what they'll do, they'll probably drop Ohio State to 4. But I really feel like as though they are the best two teams in the country. Now, you can probably add Georgia in that little mix right there, but IU, and we saw it tonight. We sat there and watched two of the best two teams, the best two teams in the country slug it out.
Yep.
And, the only thing that kind of like, I was hoping that that the intangibles were not play calling, but the officiating, and it was pretty fair across the board. Now there was a couple times that I thought that IU was like, the time when the guy had his knee down, I thought that they wouldn't get that turn back.
Right.
I really thought that they, So those are the things that happened to IU years and years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the things that happen. But I think we're getting the respect. But I will tell you, the national media, people like ESPN and stuff like that, they're probably going to say that Ohio State is probably really wasn't that good. You know, and that's what they're going to say.
That has been what they're going to be saying. Yeah, but let's see Indiana win against an SEC team. That's exactly what it's going to be.
Right. Yep, and that's exactly what I'm saying. But Ken, I'm telling you right now, my Jim Beam and Coke was rolling while I was sitting there watching the game, and I'm telling you, I did not leave the TV, and I was yelling and screaming. I had Don Fisher on the radio.
Yeah.
And I'm just watching the game because I didn't have time to hear what they were talking about. I didn't have time to hear what they were talking about because, I didn't want to hear Gus Johnson and yelling and screaming and all. I didn't want to hear none of that. I wanted to see how the Hoosiers was going to fare up. I'm really shocked that Ohio State didn't go for it on their 4th and inches.
Yeah, me too.
And because that would have still would have pent IU back there. And they may have had a chance to get the ball back, to at least come back and tie it again. To at least come back and tie it. But
right.
Look, shoulda, woulda, coulda, IU won. That jinx is over. The last time that I remember that IU beat Ohio State I was in the Navy and I was stationed in Scotland. And I remember I couldn't believe it the next day because I think they beat them twice in a row. 2 years in a row.
They did.
And both times I was in the Navy and I was stationed in Scotland and I thought I was dreaming. Because it used to take a long time for it to get the scores.
Right.
It didn't come up like immediately. You would know, like I used to listen to Star and Stripes newspaper and wait for that to come out, and I get the scores for the next day, and I couldn't believe that IU had beat Ohio State. I think it was 52-7 or something like that. But just to see that in my lifetime, and I really thought they had a chance last year. I think that, they probably weren't ready for the big stage last year, but they played well against them last year compared to the SEC teams that played Ohio State in the playoffs.
Well, last year, if you remember, Indiana lost 38-27, and 14 of those 38 points came on special teams things.
Right. Yeah.
One was on fumbled punt snap, and then they scored the next play, and then a punt return. And so Indiana gave itself an opportunity at the Horseshoe, and this year, that was a huge key.
Yeah, I'm so proud, and I'm so happy that he backed up everything he said.
Yep.
He said
every word.
Every word. And now, because he got Purdue, he got Michigan out of the way, he got Ohio State out of the way now. So he can live that thing what he said when he got there.
Absolutely.
And I'm so proud of them, and I hope they party like in 1999 in Bloomington tonight. Just don't tear up the town. I
promise you that they will. Thank you so much for the call. I really appreciate it.
No problem, Ken. But then also, I'm really pissed off at the basketball team. That's another story. I will talk to you another time, okay?
All right. Take care. Thanks so much.
All right, you too, Ken.
812-393-2600 is the number. We got another caller. Caller, go ahead. Give me your name, where you're from, and what you got.
Troy from Elkhart.
Hi, Troy. How are you doing?
Not bad. Yourself?
Oh, man. What a lovely, lovely evening.
For sure. I just want to start by saying, just like the previous caller, I'm so proud and happy for this win, and disappointed in the basketball team today and against Minnesota. But, they've got the rest of the season to work it out. But for the football team, I would have never had imagined that we could be 12-0, that we could do 2 years of really kicking Purdue's butt.
Right.
And, so that, all that, and, but 12-0 and then 13-0 and winning the Big Ten championship outright. And we should be the number one seed going into the playoffs.
And the number one ranked team in the country.
Yeah. All things we've never done before. I can just remember when I was a student, I graduated in 98, and I remember going to football games and, none of the other people from my dorms wanted to buy
Yep.
on my floor in the dorms were, they're like, why would you buy season tickets for the football team?
I was in
And then
school. I
even
was in
for the
school at
ones
the
that-
same time you were. Remember they gave us tickets. They gave the student tickets away.
Well, I paid for mine. They might have been giving them out, but I thought, oh man, I don't want to risk, not having a good seat or whatever. I bought my tickets, and then even when I go with some of my friends, they would all want to leave at halftime.
Yep.
Sort of like what, as everyone else. And I sort of got it, but yeah, so I'm just so proud of this team, the coaches, all the coaches, all the staff, all the players, the administration, athletic department, and of course all of us fans too, because I mean, we gave our good vibes or thoughts to help this team win. So I'll just leave it at that. I'm looking forward to the playoffs. I'd actually like to see us play Notre Dame in one of the playoff games, however that all works out. But yeah, I'm just so happy. Just wanted to say that.
Yeah, I completely agree. Really appreciate the call. Thank you so much.
And thank you for always doing these shows, both football and basketball. I always appreciate it.
Thanks so
We
much. I
all
appreciate that.
it.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, take care. 812-393-2600 on the chat. Parmalee says, biggest IU moment since Keith Smart. I would say it's the biggest IU moment on a big stage like this. The watch shot was obviously the watch shot, but I would say it was since maybe A.J. Moyer's block, too, against Duke. Got another caller. Caller, if you have your name, where you're from, and what you got.
Hey, Ken. My name is Jake Radke. I'm in Augusta, Georgia, but from Muncie.
Where around Chicago did you used to live?
Elk Grove Village.
Okay. I see you have an 847 number. I do too, from when I lived in Vernon Hills, so that's how I know.
Yep. Now, I just wanted to call in and say that this is growing up an Indiana fan. I mean, my dad was on the 87-88 teams that beat Ohio State and Michigan.
Okay.
Beat Ohio State and Michigan in 87.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, this is just being born into IU fandom from those years, and finally seeing IU reach the mountaintop. This is unreal. As a kid, I never thought we'd ever see this. So I just wanted to call in and share that aspect of somebody that grew up rooting for IU and seeing the 0-12 years, and then finally a 13-0 year.
Well, and how many years did we spend trying to just count 6 wins just to get to a bowl? Just get to a bowl. That's
you're
all.
Not kidding.
Even when you had that, my argument was, we're not worried about things like conference championships or national championships. That's something that's ridiculous.
Never.
Just get to a bowl. Just do that.
Get to a bowl game.
Yeah.
I remember celebrating getting to the Insight Bowl.
Yeah.
When that was still a bowl game. And then we got to the Pinstripe Bowl a couple years later. But yeah, no, I was just telling my wife, who's from Park Ridge and has no care about IU. She went to Marquette and all that kind of stuff. But I was just telling her how big of a deal this is to IU to win the Big Ten championship. I mean, my dad competed for a couple, but never won one. But yeah, this is such a crazy experience for me. I was sitting here crying on the couch. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh no, I mean it makes absolute sense, and there's absolutely no shame in that, because of the sweat and the mental energy and the disappointment over the years to actually feel that victory, to see that confetti fly is extraordinary.
The only thing they haven't done that the '87 team did is beat Ohio State and Michigan in the same year.
Well, you can only beat the teams in front of you.
That's true.
Yeah.
We can only beat the teams that are on our schedule.
And they've beaten every single
but
one. But I
know, knowing my dad, he's going to say something to the fact that that's the only thing that he has to hang his hat on now is that they beat Ohio State and Michigan in the same year.
Yeah. Well,
or that they beat Ohio State by more.
and had the two darkest days in Ohio State history.
That's what Earl Bruce said.
Yep. Well, thank you so much for the call.
Yeah,
I really appreciate it.
I just wanted to call in and share my 2 bits of what this meant to somebody that has lived Indiana football, lived and breathed Indiana football since the day they were born.
Yeah.
And somebody that had a family member that played on some of the pretty decent teams at one point in time.
Well, I appreciate the call. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Take care. 812-393-2600 is the number. Got more callers. Caller, if you have your name, where you're from, and what you got.
Ken, what's up, man? Can you believe it?
It's got to say.
This is unbelievable.
It'll sink in at some point.
92. Bill Maller, your years, God bless him. We're just leaving a Boston alumni watch party. We had at least 50, 60 people there. Everyone was going nuts. I just got to say, like, first of all, seeing them at that trophy stand at the end of the game was surreal, absolutely surreal. And then how about that call to Becker on that 3rd down? I mean, unbelievable cojones to make that call and then to execute. Unbelievable. That's the Heisman play right there.
The throw was unbelievable. I mean, in that moment, to have the pressure that you have, to put that ball right where it belonged. I mean, that throw, you're talking about a couple other throws he had to Becker. The touchdown pass to Surratt was fantastic. It's
back shoulder deliciousness. And like that, but that call, man, that's the difference between a Signetti coach and a Ryan Day coach right there. I mean, it's legit unbelievable.
And then you got to execute it, and they did just that. It's incredible. And 2 years ago, they won what, 3 games, 4 games under Tom Allen, and God bless Tom Allen. He had his own measure of success, but to go from that to this is jaw dropping.
It really is. I mean, hats off to those kids, man. They playing their hearts out. The defense tonight was off the charts. I'm so excited for them. I really felt bad for the Ohio State kicker when he missed that kid. I feel horrible for him, but not that bad. At the end of the day, what is a Buckeye? No one knows. No one cares. Hoosiers look great. I'm so excited. I can't believe it's surreal right now. Thanks so much for doing this show. And up here in Boston, Hoosier Nation is going crazy.
Well, fantastic. Thank you so much for the call. I appreciate it. Keep it rolling.
You got it.
Take care.
Yeah.
812-393-2600 is the number. So many times on this call-in show, whether it was when I was on the IU Football Radio Network or on this show, actually not on this show now that I think about it, haven't really, for basketball I've had to play therapist. It's great to have all these good vibes. Here, we're going to keep them going with another caller. Caller, have your name, where you're from, and what you got.
Hey, my name's Eli. I'm from Bloomington, Indiana. My voice is so hoarse from being at the game. I grew up an IU basketball fan, watching my father and stepfather be nothing but a pessimistic IU football fan. I can't believe how quickly it changed, and I've been telling my friends and family we might be like living in the good old days. And
oh, sure.
I literally didn't believe it for the last 2 years, and I believe it now completely.
I kept saying last year that it was never going to get better than last year. And what I meant by that was we went into last year and then the winning and the winning and the winning, nobody expected it at all. And so there were no expectations. It was house money the entire time. And now, and I still believe that last year, with no expectations, it was simply joy the whole time. This year, there's a lot of nerves because you don't want to see it end. And then you get to a big game like this, and for them to pull it out, to beat the team that is their biggest, not biggest rival, but certainly their biggest hurdle that they just simply have not been able to overcome, is incredible. And to do it, to win a Big Ten championship, to become the number one team in the nation and going to be number one seed in the college football playoff. I mean, there is no more bigger slaying the dragon than this.
Nope, absolutely unreal. And I will say the last thing, being at the game, which is so different than any football experience ever. First half, I was so nervous just to be there and have IU playing. The second half, I was calm because Ohio State was doing nothing way better than IU, and it felt like we deserved to be there and that we had the game. And I'll sign up on that. So happy to finally have called in. Love Peegs.com.
Thank you. I appreciate the call. Thank you so much.
Yeah, have a good night.
That was one thing that I said, in the lead up to this is for the first time first time ever, really, I just felt that Indiana didn't have to play a perfect game and still have an opportunity to win. And Indiana didn't play a perfect game. We've seen them play better, but then again, Ohio State had something to do with that. And IU won anyway. Got another caller? Caller, have your name, where you're from, and what you got.
Ken, this is Ryan from Bloomington. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Ryan. You doing all right? You enjoying this?
I am all right, man. I was at the game today, so you can tell my voice is about all out.
It should be.
I should scream my heart out, man. That's a win for the ages. That is IU history right there, man.
And you understand, Big Ten championship, you're also part of the group. You can say it until the day that you die in 150 years, that Indiana, you saw a team that was an Indiana football team that was good, that was the number one team in the country.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you what, I want to shout something out, because when you look at this game, people are going to remember Jane Fielden missing that kick, looking like he was doing last year against Michigan, resorting to his old ways. You hate to see it, but it's also kind of great. Elijah Surratt making that catch. But let's shout out that defense, man. They gave up one touchdown due to a couple of horrible calls. But what do? They stand up and they force them to only get a field goal, right, late in the half. And then they're able to stop them, make them punt late in the half. And that's huge, man. And then at the start of the second half, do the same thing. That's huge, because that could have gotten ugly real fast if they keep scoring touchdowns there.
Yeah.
Keep scoring, man. It was huge. It's huge, man.
And the one touchdown, let's see, looking back now, there's one touchdown today. So that's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's the 10th time this year in 13 games that Indiana has given one or fewer touchdowns up.
It's incredible, man. I tell you what, Fernando Mendoza, the Heisman, it's not even close. Kurt Signetti, we better build a statue right now. We're going to the Natty. I'll sign off for now. I'll see you in Pasadena, baby. Let's go Hoosiers. Come on.
Thanks so much for the call, Ryan. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Ken.
Take care. 812-393-2600 is the number. As long as I keep getting calls, I'll keep answering them. I love it. I love every second of it. How is it not? I think that it is just such a joy to see the fans having so much fun with all of this. It's so I'm hoping so it's a little bit different situation here than we normally have when it comes to press conferences and things like that, because of the fact that it's at the Big Ten title game. So I don't know if we're going to get to hear from Curt Cignetti and the players all at once, or the process of us being able to get that. But I'll do what I can to be able to get that information out and that press conference if it becomes available. I don't know if it will, but there's going to be plenty to hear from with that. Let's see. Go ahead and put that on a goddamn stamp. Yeah. I said that earlier, and that's how I feel completely. I don't feel bad about it either. Got another caller. Caller, if you have your name, where you're from, and what you got.
Hi, Ken. This is Kevin from Valencia, California. I spoke to you in the parking lot after the UCLA game.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to congratulate you on the Big Ten championship. And it was a great game, great effort, and you didn't screw it up. And welcome to Pasadena. I hope a million of you come out and spend a lot of money.
I promise you they will. That's great that you gave us a call here. I had little to do with this win at all, but I was it was just one of those things where it's so exciting to see a team be able to progress the way Indiana has, and to get this win and to be able to do it thanks to a tough defense, a quality quarterback, all of it. It has just been so incredibly exciting to watch.
Yeah, I mean, like I told you back there at the UCLA game, you guys, you went inside, you got Cignetti, you realized he's great, and then you extended him so you don't have to worry. Didn't have to worry the last month about coaching changes and stuff, and you played a hard-nosed game and beat Ohio State, and it gives hope to every other school that hey, these Ohio States, the Alabamas, whatever, they can be beaten.
For sure. And that was something that I talked about throughout the years, is that, especially specifically with Ohio State, that year after year, you had, Minnesota beat Ohio State, or Purdue beat Ohio State, or maybe Northwestern beat Ohio State. These other teams would beat them at some point. It would have to be Indiana's year. It would have to be. And there was one year, I think Indiana lost to them 52-49. To where they put up big numbers, and Indiana had opportunities along the way. I think in 2015 it was 31-24. IU had a chance to tie it on the last play of the game, couldn't get over that hurdle. Well, today they got over that hurdle, and Indiana football made history.
I'd be interested to see what Lee Corso has to say today, because the famous story of him pulling his team out in the middle of the field and taking a picture of them ahead of Indiana after a quarter,
right,
over Ohio State after a quarter. I hope that has a little influence on how you guys got here today.
Yeah, that standard has been raised, to say the least, and now you go into the college football playoff as the number one team and the number one seed, and Big Ten champs. They can't take it away from us.
Again, congratulations, and maybe I'll come if you're going to do a remote podcast for the Rose Bowl. I'll come out and hang out with you.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate the call.
All right, take it easy, Ken. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you very much. 812-393-2600 is the number. Lines are open, and want to hear from you. Feel free to call as long as you want. As long as you want. See, somebody on Twitter just has that gif of Ricky Bobby saying, "I'm not sure what to do with my hands." Love it. This is where Twitter is really shines with these kind of things. You see shirts at the basketball game that have it said SIG, but with like the C and then the Big Ten logo, the one and the G, like the SIG 10. That got a little note here. Also from Jared Kelly from Peegs.com. It says Kurt Cignetti on Fernando Mendoza's game-sealing pass to Charlie Becker. I wasn't going to play not to lose. We were playing to win, and that is exactly what Indiana did. They played to win at a time when Ohio State played to tie and missed a field goal, and it cost them the game. Then again, Indiana had to come back and do what it needed to do to hold on to the win, and they did just that. Incredible game. The defense was fantastic. Again, the numbers on this thing. Ohio State, 322 total yards, just 58 yards rushing. Now, 29 of those came on, a negative 29 of those came on sacks of Justin Sayin, or at least 5 sacks. He was sacked 6 times all season until tonight when he was sacked 5 times. Indiana scored in 3 out of 4 trips to the red zone. Ohio State just 2 out of 4. Indiana held Ohio State to 4 of 11 on third down. Just 2.2 yards per carry. Indiana, Ohio State, Bo Jackson was a great weapon for them. 17 carries, 83 yards. Nothing wrong with that. 0 touchdowns, though. He was held out of the end zone. Same thing with Jeremiah Smith. 8 catches for 144 yards. He is fantastic. No touchdowns. They weren't able to get anything rolling with that. And if you look at the big plays for Ohio State had 5 chunk plays in the passing game, gains of 15-plus yards, had a 52-yard completion and a 46-yard completion. Both of those to Jeremiah Smith. Neither one of them resulted in a touchdown. Then you had 3 other 220-yard passes and an 18-yard pass. Just 2 chunk plays given up on defense in the run game, gains of 10-plus yards, only 2 of them. They made Ohio State work for absolutely everything. Not that Indiana was real busy getting, picking up big yards in chunk plays, but, that is, Indiana did enough. Got our next caller. Caller, if you have your name, where you're from, and what you got. Go ahead, caller. Oh, we lost him. Hope he calls back. It's the 8406 number. Want to hear from you. Saying couldn't get comfortable. CW5289. I don't think that's his real name. On the chat says saying couldn't get comfortable in their running game, couldn't get much traction. He is talented but still inexperienced. Well, Indiana was inexperienced in the Big Ten championship game, and they got the job done. Fernando Mendoza had never played in one, and he got the job done. Saying wasn't bad. Don't get me wrong. 21 of 29 for 258 and a touchdown as a sophomore. Threw a pick. That was kind of a great play by Lou Moore. But it was Indiana's defense that won the day. Plain and simple. Got another caller. Caller, if you have your name, where you're from, and what you got.
Well, this is Bob from Warsaw, Indiana.
Hi, Bob. How you doing?
Oh, pretty good. How you doing there?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, I just wanted to go on and I can't hardly believe seeing them win a championship like that, and because I talked to people online with the rivals and all that over the years, and we thought the ceiling, my position, I thought the ceiling would be like 7 or 8 wins on occasion, and that would be. And I never could expect that anything like this would happen to get this kind of record, and so I'm just overwhelmed. For 30 years, I went down to IU and saw most of the home games and a lot of the away games.
Oh, great!
Including the win out at Oregon back in 2004.
Sure.
And I just unbelievable that this could be a turnaround like this.
Yeah. Yeah, it has been just so much fun to watch and to see everything play out the way that it has. It is just incredible to see just so many dreams come true for people.
You're absolutely right, and it's just so it's so amazing, and I hate it that my brother and my wife both died before. My wife died right before the season last year, so she never got to see. She was looking forward to the season with Signetti coaching, and So I have nobody to watch the games with or go to the games with or anything now. So that makes it tough to do because, like I said, I always love talking watching the games with them, and so neither of them are around to see that. So.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but certainly you could rejoice with other Hoosier fans at this point. And they're thrilled because there's never been a better time to be an IU fan than right now. People, as a caller mentioned earlier, that you have to realize that it's the good old days right now, and it sure as hell is.
Oh, it is, yeah, for sure. And I went down my first IU game ever that I went down to. My brother had been down there. He took me down there when I was 14 for the opening game of the '67 season, when we beat Kentucky, and Al Gage caught the touchdown pass right in front of where we were at, in the end zone there. So, and of course, they went on to the Rose Bowl from that season, and so that was when I started following them real closely. Then at that point, that year, and it's amazing that season '67 that they never had any games on TV that year for IU games.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even televise a Buckeye game that year because they had Michigan, Ohio State already programmed in. They wouldn't change it, even though that game meant nothing that year.
Well, there have been games, within the past 25 years that now obviously prior to the Big Ten Network coming on board, but early 2000s, I remember there was a Bucket game that wasn't televised. Because it just was, and that's with cable channels and all that. It just wasn't it wasn't a priority. I know that the call-in show after the Bucket game a couple years ago, I did by myself from a radio station. Basically, radio stations had a choice of running the basketball game, the home IU basketball game, or this call-in show, and then going to the basketball game. And they went with the basketball game. And I got it because Indiana wasn't very good. But still, it's just the audience wasn't there for it. And now, goodness, it's just amazing.
Well, we had over the years, there's just been so many frustrating close losses that it's like we were jinxed or something because, when it came to a close game at the very end, you just expected something to happen to cause us to lose.
Right.
And even the 6 losses in the last Allen year in 23, and had 6 losses by a touchdown or less. And so it just meant it was that way, but it was that way for a lot of years. It was that way that it had just close losses, unbelievable losses.
Well, and
in some cases.
Yeah, crazy things that you've never seen before. I know that
right.
Against Michigan State in 06, Indiana threw a 98-yard touchdown pass that it resulted in 2 points for Michigan State because they got called for holding in the end zone. I've seen Indiana get a delay of game on the opening kickoff. I've seen amazing things. And
this Minnesota, probably the craziest one was when we were close to either tying or beating Minnesota right near the goal line.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, okay, what's going to happen? We couldn't get either one because we threw this lateral that was a fumble that Minnesota recovered.
That IU players thought was an incomplete pass, so they were around the ball. They just didn't pick it up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm thinking, are we going to get 3 or are we going to get 7 to win the game? We got 0 because of that.
Right. Yeah.
So and a Navy game over the year, one year that all we needed was one stop and we couldn't get it. Navy kept going for it on 4th down and gave it all those. And then the one year we were so great on offense with Wilson, but we couldn't stop anybody from scoring. So defense has really held us back over the years. But anyway, I just wanted to call and just mention about how great this is. So
yeah. Well, thank you so much for the call. I really appreciate it.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Bye now.
812-393-2600. We do have our next caller. Caller, have your name, where you're from, and what you got.
Hey, Ken. My name's Jordan. I'm from Evansville, Indiana.
Well, thank you for calling. I appreciate it. What are your thoughts on your number 1 ranked Indiana Hoosiers?
Well, I want to say right now that I am so proud of this team and everything that the players and the coaching staff have done to get to this point. And I just wanted to say that I thought the biggest thing going into the game was maintaining the line of scrimmage. And I thought the biggest thing was we had to get pressure on Julian Satan.
Yeah.
Which we did.
Yeah.
And by doing that, I feel like we pressured him. We got him uncomfortable. We made him kind of like second guess himself, and that put him in bad situations, throwing the ball away, taking sacks. The pressure got to him, unlike how they played against Michigan last week.
Well, and so what it put him in is a situation that he really hadn't been in as Ohio State quarterback, to where he was having to start looking at the line a little bit more. And there were plays when he still made some nice plays and some nice throws. Don't get me wrong, but there were times when obviously that pressure got to him a little bit, and the Hoosiers took advantage.
I feel like he made some nice plays and nice throws, but it was the first time that Ohio State ever was behind in the second half, and I think that kind of showed in how he was playing.
Yeah, I agree completely. It is it's just an unbelievable evening, to say the least, and it was both sides of the ball too. That's the thing. Indiana didn't score a ton of points, but you had these throws by Mendoza that were just pinpoint throws, some tough rushing yards against a very good defensive line. Indiana's offensive line that has been such a problem over the years, showed up and didn't just hold their own. They took care of business on a couple of good long drives. And then, the defense was fantastic. And, of course, special teams, you had a missed field goal. And you didn't have a big day in the return game, but they also had a couple of really nice punts, left Ohio State with some long fields, and can't say enough about every phase of the game.
Yeah, I think every phase of the game, everybody executed. I mean, we missed the one kick. I mean, it's going to happen. I mean, they missed a 27-yard kick. I mean, it's just what it is. And I did feel that in the first half that Fernando kind of had happy feet, where the pocket was still pretty secured, but he got a little anxious to kind of want to make a play or just get out of the pocket. But I thought he handled it a lot better in the second half.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And that's understandable too, that you get popped early on and you're under a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, for sure.
And last, you still, it's easy to fall back on bad habits. Last year, he was running for his life at Cal. And we saw a little bit of that early in the season. He had some happy feet and it obviously calmed down. But he also calmed down in the second half and showed a ton of poise.
And I just want to say, Brian Haynes is a genius. I love Coach Sig. I love this entire coaching staff. But I think what Brian Haynes brings to this team as the defensive coordinator, this man is unmatched. And, the defense is really the way IU wins the games.
Yeah. They've been fantastic. And I'm a defense-first guy. Always have been. Even if you're not clicking offensively, if you're playing good defense, you're going to give yourself an opportunity to win the ball game. And the Hoosiers did just that. And I was on the edge of my seat. It wasn't an easy win, but it's not supposed to be. That's generally not how that goes. And when you have to, get over hurdles and slay your demon, it's going to be difficult. And Indiana did everything it needed to do to win the ball game.
Literally did everything they needed to do to win the ball game. It was absolutely it was perfection. It was beautiful. It was just so amazing to watch. And I'm just so proud of this team and how they just came to play, executed. They held Ohio State to 10 points.
Yeah.
That's just crazy. Jeremiah Smith. They have two of the top wide receivers in the country. We just shut them down. Bo Jackson did nothing on the run game. The defense did what they've done all year. They held strong. Offense made a mistake with the interception. I didn't like the little bubble screen, and I wish Mendoza would have not passed the ball, but it happens. Things happen. It was an interception, led to a touchdown. But honestly, I thought the defense played well in the red zone, giving up the turnover, even though they gave up the touchdown.
Oh, you make that point that they were playing on a short field after that interception. So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, they were instantly in the red zone. And it's like the defense still, I mean, even though they gave up the touchdown, they played really well in the red zone.
For sure. It's this defense, just looking at the drive charts, Ohio State with a total of 9 drives, only 2 of them went more than 6 plays. One of them was a missed field goal. One of them was a turnover on downs, and that's it. You had the field goal that they scored in the second half, rather in the first half. The touchdown was on a 25-yard field, and that was it. Otherwise, they yeah.
I mean, name me like Texas Tech, maybe. I think Indiana has the top defense in the nation.
Yeah, I mean there's I mean that is where they're at. Yes.
I just want to say I'm just super proud of this team. I thought they did exactly what they needed to do. And honestly, Ohio State, I mean, I know they got a couple sacks on Mendoza, but for what it was worth, and I did. Now, was he benched or was he injured? Why did he start the second half at right tackle?
Well, he was kind of shuffling in and out of the lineup along the way. I didn't hear anything about him being benched, but he was out there in the second half and was key. So it's I don't know.
Key as well. I don't know what was going on there. I know that Mitch had to start at right tackle, and he was not looking great.
No, he wasn't.
But I'm glad they. I don't know if Benson was a little injured and they were just trying to play it, like give him a little extra time. But I'm glad they put him in, and he played really well at right tackle.
He
which
did
is what he's done all year.
Yeah, and that right side was a bigger problem than the left side today. But it's also a really good Ohio State team. Indiana shows that they could put up with that pressure, and the experience of being in this close game after winning close games against Oregon and Penn State and Iowa earlier this season. Yeah. Now you could put Ohio State as a feather in your cap. So when you go to the college football playoffs, which you've played in before, all of that comes together to have a team that absolutely, good God, has an opportunity to win a national championship.
God, I feel like, I mean, they 100% do.
Yeah.
I mean, they have all 3 levels.
Mm-hmm.
They're ready for it. And when one level lets you down, the other one picks it up to put you back in it.
Yep, no question. Well, I appreciate the call.
Yeah, no problem, Ken. It's always a pleasure listening to you. You have a wonderful evening, brother.
You too. Take care.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. 812-393-2600. We are now coming up about 10 minutes before 1 in the morning. Looks like we may, I don't know if we're going to get SIG. I'm looking at the Peegs.com upload queue here, and we might actually get some of that, some audio. I'll let you know here in a few seconds when I get an update on that. Over here on the chat, Dan Fitzsimmons says, doing all this without any 5 stars and just 7 4-stars against a team stacked with 4s and a smatterings of 5. That is absolutely the case. That is something that there's. That's why I said all through the run up to this, that Ohio State has on paper better talent, better speed, better athleticism, better size. All of that, but you don't play the games on paper unless you're playing Stratomatic. And Indiana is going to start getting some of those 4 and 5-star players because people are going to want to play for SIG, and they know he's going to be here. And he has more than proven that he can do that. And if they don't believe him, he has advice for them.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I win. Google me.
And that's how that works. Somebody says the kick was good. Talking about the Pinstripe Bowl from several years ago. Kick wasn't good, but people still want to say the kick is good. That's fine. Those are the old days, the old disappointments. Those are gone. 13-10. I guess now, really, what is the last thing maybe that Curt Cignetti has to do that is like a bugaboo for the Hoosiers, or a hurdle that they've had, is he's got to win a bowl game. Indiana hasn't won a bowl game in a long, long time. So in this quest to win a national championship, that bowl game is still the next step, but that's really going to be secondary. Indiana wins their college football playoff game because they've been undefeated in a regular season. First time in IU history. They were unbeaten once in 1945. A couple of things on that. They tied one of those games. They finished 9-0-1, and those teams did not have face masks, which means they weren't talking about modern football. Never won. That was the last time they won an outright Big Ten championship. But again, no face masks on the helmets. Not modern football. Tied a three-way tie for a Big Ten championship in 1967, and now 2025 is your time. 812-393-2600 is the number. I am old enough to remember a couple of years ago when people called into my call-in show and suggested that Indiana football drop down to the MAC because there's no reason for them to be playing. In the Big Ten, they can't compete. All of that, they don't deserve it. They never would. Well, I hope that isn't your same attitude after they beat Ohio State 13-10. Game ball goes to Charlie Becker for me. 6 catches, 126 yards. Big catch after big catch. Not the star of the show. If I had told you here's what's going to happen. Indiana's going to play Ohio State in the Big Ten championship. Ohio State quarterback Justin Sainz is going to go 21-29 for 258 yards. Elijah Surratt's going to finish with 3 catches for 37 yards. Would you think Indiana was going to win that ball game? But they did. Becker, by the way, 6 catches on 7 targets. Throw it at Charlie B. He's going to catch it. Huge second half of the season for him. Indiana won this game without one of their 2 top receivers, and Omar Cooper, who went down with an injury. So there's that. We'll see where that situation is. And again, the Indiana will be number 1 team in the country. Fernando Mendoza is probably going to win the Heisman Trophy. So check that box off of Indiana football history. Sure does make, what happened against Louisville on the basketball court earlier today easier to swallow. There's that. But where you go from now is you have a little time off. And that's pretty great too. Because I haven't really done a lot of college football playoff checking of when it's going to happen. The quarterfinals, which is Indiana, is going to get a first round bye. So they would get the championship bracket would see
the college football playoff national championship is one of the
hate pop-ups. Okay. College football, if it's the Rose Bowl, it'd be January 1st. So you're talking about nearly a month away for that. That would be one of the, so you got the Cotton Bowl, the Orange Bowl, the Rose Bowl, Sugar Bowl. It'd probably be the Rose Bowl. And so you got some time that you can get healthy. You're the only undefeated team in the country. And let the Alabama fans and all that argue about whether they belong in with 3 losses. Indiana doesn't have to worry about that because they are at number 1. On the chat, Indiana made it a point to take some shots downfield. They sure did. Another one is, Ken, are you aware of any plans to expand the attendance at Memorial Stadium? there are some plans in the works to do some construction at Memorial Stadium. Some of that has been talked about. I know the bigger thing has to do with some work on the west side of the stadium. I don't have all the details on that, but I am planning on talking to Scott Dolson very, very soon, and I'll be sure to talk to him about that. And I'll talk to him an interview on a record interview for the Peegs podcast, hopefully sometime in December. To be able to talk about that, but I'll let you know about that. Another person says, so happy for IU. Hope Cooper is okay. I do too, because he's such a big part of what the Hoosiers are doing. But great to see him, at least on the sideline, even if he didn't play. He was on the sideline. Got some videos coming in of some player interviews. And like I said, I don't know if we're going to get SIG for this one because of the rules with the Big Ten title game. It's different of what they hand out than like if I'm running the camera. It's obviously a different situation than what we have there. And plus, like the turnaround on these things at one of these events is very, very different, obviously, than it would be during a home game. So we'll see about that. Seeing finally some videos from Kirkwood, and it looks pretty wild. People having fun. It is a lot of horns honking, a lot of that kind of stuff. We had some callers kind of discuss this about, just thinking back to what they were when they were kids or growing up watching the Hoosiers. Some people talk about watching games with their parents and grandparents and uncles and aunts and cousins and all that kind of stuff, the family part of it. Certainly this is one of those games where, my dad, Norman, was a huge IU fan. He would have absolutely loved this. Got an Uncle Dave who passed away in July. He would have absolutely loved all of this. Think about all your friends and family that are no longer with us and how much they would have enjoyed this game and everything that has happened over the past couple of seasons. It's really just a special time to be an Indiana fan. I will call last call right now for phone calls. Lines are open still, so if you want to pick up the phone, give me a call. I sure would appreciate it. 812-393-2600 is the number. We have had a record number of calls. That's not unexpected for today. And I've loved talking to you guys. Second show of the day. So that's fun too. But it's an absolute joy to do this game. And I was told a friend who's also an IU fan, I texted him, I said, I'm not sure how I'm supposed to do a broadcast after all of this. And he said, I have faith in you. You've been, waiting for this your whole life and training for this your whole life. And he isn't wrong. He isn't wrong. There's some friends of mine too that I used to work with over at Basketball News long ago. My friend Steve, and he messaged me and said, it's happening, Kenny B. And, the happy birthday and, all of that. I just was so happy to be able to see it happen. My two sons are in the room. Charlie, the intern, broke a Murphy bed in the middle of the game. So I have that going for us. Got to repair that sometime soon. But still, again, have the big Bears-Packers game tomorrow. So I got the Bears eating cheese shirt. My sister, Kim, lives in Minnesota. She sent this to me. So that was a ton of fun. Got another caller. Somebody took me up on the last call. Caller, if you have your name, where you're from, and what you got.
My name is Tom. I'm in Alabama, and it's so nice to have somebody besides Alabama to cheer for down here.
I was saying, during the game and before the game that Ohio State fans are rooting for Ohio State and literally everybody else would be rooting for Indiana.
Yeah, well, Alabama fans only root for Alabama, and it gets so sickening down here, even though my wife is a big Alabama fan and I love her, but that was so nice to see Alabama go down. If they get included, it's only because the crooked system and trying to make more money for the CFP by getting a big name like Alabama, and there were 3 losses and getting stomped today. So anyway, I'm a happy Hoosier down here where at least it's warmer.
I'm right with you there with the Alabama thing. You lose 3 times in a season. Yeah, I get that you're playing in the SEC, and like the national media thinks the SEC is just basically like another division of the NFL, but it ain't.
Yeah.
And I love Kalen DeBoer. He's obviously his Hoosier ties here. He was a great guy to deal with when he was here. Great to see him be successful. He's a good coach, but you've lost 3 games on the year. There are other teams that haven't lost 3 games that deserve that spot, and you don't get to have it just because your name is Alabama.
And you lose by 21 points your last game.
And that was my concern for Indiana, is if they lost, would the CFP committee decide, okay, we got to knock them out of the top 4? It would have been a travesty, but, hey, they'll find any kind of excuse. They don't like newcomers to their party. And Indiana put any question of that out of range by beating Ohio State.
Oh yeah, it was great. I mean, Alabama football fans are the equivalent of Kentucky basketball fans, and so I feel for anybody who lives in Kentucky. Any Indiana fans living in Kentucky too. So
why, sir?
Anyway, it was wonderful. Thank you, Ken.
I appreciate the call. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye. It
is past 1 a.m. as my voice starts to go here on the Peegs Postgame Live. What I could see already is a record-breaking episode. Any updates on the current status of Showalter Fountain? I haven't seen any pictures of that, but those fish are likely in a hell of a lot of trouble. You tell that. So that is... It's something else. Oh, we are starting to maybe get some video from Curt Cignetti and his players. So let's see if now the interviews are 22 minutes long. I'm not going to do that to you people. That's an awfully long thing, but we'll listen to a couple of minutes with the players. We'll do about maybe 5 minutes from the players. We'll include that so that you could hear what was said after the ball game with Curt Cignetti and some of his players. So I'll bring you roughly about 5-6 minutes. The question after 5 minutes, we'll cut it off. It looks like they had in Sig and Mendoza and Bones Jones, Eliza Surratt, Aiden Fisher. So let's hear from those players and the coach, and let's hear what he has to say. As they are coming in.
Did you guys hear about it? I know. Terrible. Yeah.
We are joined by Indiana, the Big Ten champion. We will begin with an opening statement from head coach Curt Cignetti. Reminder, no recording, only stills here in the press conference. Please raise your hand. We will bring a microphone to you, and please state your name and affiliation first. Coach?
Yeah, great win, gutty game, hard-fought physical football game. Wasn't perfect by either team. We found a way to survive it, made the plays when we had to. And, I thought once again, when the game was on the line, Fernando was throwing dimes and Charlie Becker was showing up making big plays and Surratt with a big touchdown. Our defense just created a lot of issues. Ohio State did start to scratch our run game there in the second half and missed that field goal. Of course, we missed one too, so it's even. So it's a great win for us, obviously, our first Big Ten title. And now I got 3.5 weeks to kind of humble this team, get them ready for the playoffs.
We'll go here back corner. Please state your name and affiliation.
Sammy Jacobs of Hoosier Huddle. Coach, your defense had 8 tackles for loss, 5 sacks. What made them get after the quarterback? Stephen Daly had a big game, and Elijah Hardy had a big game as well, along with Aiden. But what made you guys so successful on defense?
Well, I mean, that's been who we've been all year and really since 2019, I'm not going to lie to you. And, we've always been high in TFLs and sacks, and so we got a great effort from our front guys, and, we're down up those blitzes, got the quarterback off rhythm, let him out of the pocket a few times, which we can't do. But all in all, I thought we played pretty well.
Go right here.
Isaiah,
name and affiliation.
Seth Tao with the Daily Hoosier. Isaiah, you were with this program for the previous regime. You've seen what this program was. You've seen what it's become. For somebody like you that's been along for that whole ride, what does this mean?
Isaiah?
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot. I know it means a lot to me. It means a lot to all the guys that maybe were holdovers. But it means a lot to the guys that came in, too. And, it's the coaches buying in. It's, they work all year long for us. And it's just the players buying into the strength staff, to the coaching scheme, and each other. We just want to play for each other and play our best.
We're here in the back.
Scott Docterman with The Athletic. This is for both Coach Signetti and for Fernando. You've been in some really tight situations in the fourth quarter, and you've come through at Oregon, at Iowa, at Penn State. How did that help you prepare mentally and for this kind of challenge here, because you had to come up with some big plays throughout the second half?
We'll go Coach first. Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, I think we probably all on the bench as that clock started to tick down into the fourth quarter and it was game on the line, probably at some point felt like, wow, we've been here and we've won, and they've never been here. And so I think there's no question about it. When you've been through something one time, you're a lot better the second time. It gives you a lot of belief and confidence.
Yeah, throughout spring ball and fall camp, we always practiced a lot of 2-minute drills, a lot of 1-minute drills, and especially against such a great defense, it primed us for the season. So whenever we got in high adversity situations, we're always able to go out there and efficiently execute. And also just the glue that we have with our brotherhood, how much we care about the man beside us, really makes us unshakable. So whenever we're in any adversity, we're always there to stick by each other, not finger pointing. I think that's what elevates us to our competition and exceeds expectations in those high adversity moments.
Go here in the front.
For Kurt and Isaiah, down here in the front here, you said earlier this week, Kurt, that you guys weren't at Ohio State's level in terms of recruiting yet, but you feel like you're closing that gap, and a win this weekend could go a long way toward closing that gap. What can the future be? What can a win like this do for the future of your program?
Yeah, I didn't catch that whole question. I thought you were speaking to Isaiah.
I said for you and Isaiah, but we'll start with you. You said this week that you guys aren't quite at Ohio State's level recruiting-wise yet, but you feel like you're closing that gap, and a win today could go a long way towards that. What can a win like this do for the future of your program, you think?
Well, I don't know. Time will tell. I mean, it's hard to speculate. I think it gives us a lot more. It was another step we needed to take as a program. It's a great win, obviously, and we're going to go in the playoffs as number 1 seed. And a lot of people probably thought that wasn't possible. But when you get the right people and you have a plan and they love one another and play for one another and they commit, anything's possible. And I think that's what you saw happen here.
Isaiah?
Yeah, I mean, this win, kind of shows, like, everybody, why not? Why would you not want to come to Indiana? I mean, for any of the doubters out there, I think this kind of, was the final nail in the coffin. For any of the Indiana doubters, the Kurt Signetti doubters, the Hoosier doubters, I think, this was the last thing that needed to be proved, and I think we did it.
Well, there's Kurt Signetti and the players during the post-game press conference. Just a little taste of that. Again, that goes 22 minutes. I'm not going to run this whole thing, but bottom line is the Hoosiers are the Big Ten champions, number 1 team in the country next week, top seed in the college football playoff. And all the doubters, they're exactly right. Every single doubter, it's over. it's over. And the last thing is going to be winning a bowl game. And that's the next thing to do. And that's where we're at. December 6th, 2025, Indiana is Big Ten champions. We are well into December 7th now, and I appreciate all the callers who have taken the time to call in for this show. We will have a call-in show after the Penn State game on Tuesday for IU basketball, and we're just going to be plenty talking about IU football until they play the game on January 1st in the Rose Bowl. But exciting season. Get your merch. Enjoy it while you can. The good old days are happening right now. And this is a special season that is continuing. And last year, it wasn't going to get any better than that. There's still some substantial opportunities ahead for the Hoosiers. They haven't been beaten yet. And they're going to play until somebody beats them or they hold up the hardware in the national championship game. What a time to be a Hoosier fan. Thank you to all of the callers that we've had tonight. I think it's 20 of them is the number that we've had, which has been fantastic. Enjoy the win. And, just when you wake up, it's still going to be real. This ain't a dream. It's really amazing. Well, that's all the time we have on the Peegs Postgame Live. I want to thank you for listening. I want to remind you to visit Peegs.com for the very best in IU football and basketball coverage you're going to find anywhere. Nobody covers Hoosier recruiting better than Jeff Rabjohns, Matt Weaver, Trevor Andershock, and Jared Kelly. So come be a part of a thriving and excited community at Peegs.com. Folks, you are not going to be disappointed. Folks, we're out of time, but for now, and for Jeff, Matt, Trevor, and Jared, I'm Ken Bykoff saying thanks for listening, everybody, and go Bears.